Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Periwinkle Jellyfish, and today I'll be drawing a roller skating character. I personally have a little bit of experience roller skating, in that I am very bad at it, so I'll be sharing a little bit of funny stories from when in my personal experience of roller skating, and I'll also be sharing what I think this character acts like, and be narrating her design a little bit. So, my personal experience with how I started roller skating was a friend asked me if I wanted to go roller skating, and because they like to go roller skating too, and they thought it would be a really fun time. What they didn't expect, though, was that I was extremely bad at it and fell onto my butt at least 26 times. I wish I was kidding. I fell so many times that it hurt to sit down because my butt was that badly bruised. My dad was trying to help me figure out how to skate, and so was my friend, but throughout the entire thing, I was just doing very badly and just struggling to figure out how to skate. Like, they were trying to give me so much advice, and I really appreciated it, but none of it was working. At one point, my dad was trying to give me a little bit of advice on how to skate, and then I slipped and fell right as he was trying to help. And my natural instinct was to grab the closest thing next to me to stabilize myself, and that happened to be my dad's arm. So I took him down with me, and our shoelaces got tied together, and we sat there looking like idiots on the floor while people just skated past us for 6 minutes while he was trying to untie the skates. Meanwhile, I imagine that this character is much better at skating than I am. For, obvious reasons. It's hard to get worse at it than I am. I imagine that she loves to skate and spends all her time adventuring around, and skating is obviously her favorite mode of transportation. She just loves to explore the city she lives in, and skate around and just have a lot of fun, and she's definitely a free spirit and might tease you a little bit, but she seems like a really cool person. I imagine that she spends a lot of time listening to music as well. I saw some earrings on Pinterest. I'll put a picture of it here, and those earrings were really pretty, and I loved their color scheme, so I decided that's what I would base this color scheme off of. In this one skating rink, there was this one tiny little area that's for practicing if you're a beginner and you don't really know what to do. So I thought, oh hey, it's way less crowded there. There's not people. Maybe I'll try to get a hang of it there. And there was this one kindergartner that was there too, and they were skating significantly better than I was. So I just remember thinking to myself, I am skating worse than a kindergartner right now. Obviously, that kindergartner probably had a lot more practice and was practicing it a lot more than I had been, because this is my first time since I was 4, and I only skated once when I was 4. And this random kindergartner probably had been getting a lot of practice from their parents, but still, it was really funny to me that I was in the same little practice area as a kindergartner, and they were doing it so much better than I was. This character probably lives in the same world as my pastel bookworm and the antisocial character with a cat. Yeah, I imagine that the characters like Jade, my bird character, probably live in a more fantasy universe, but this one seems like she'd live in a very modern area. So, for this character, I don't know what I'm going to name her, so please let me know in the comments below. So I'm working on my color scheme here, and I wanted to have rainbow checkers, and could I have just used the gradient pattern, the gradient tool, and then just set it to rainbow? Yes. Yes, I could have. And that would have saved a lot of time, but that's too easy. That would be not entertaining. So, of course, I had to suffer a little bit. So I had to just intricately design and spray paint every little rainbow into the checkers. This actually was not as bad as I made it sound. It was actually pretty simple and only took 5 minutes. And it was actually kind of fun to do it by myself. Yeah. So once I was done with getting all those little squares, then I could move on to the hairs. So now I'm finishing up on all those little squares. Ooh, it's raining outside. Okay, back on topic. For the hair, I wanted to give her kind of like a half and half color scheme, kind of similar to Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia. Of course, this is going to be a pretty different color palette though. For one side of her hair, I wanted it to be vibrant and pink, and on the other half, I wanted it to just be a plain black, just because I thought this would be really cool and kind of match with her half and half checkers theme that she's going on. So, once I was done with the pink side, now I moved on to this grayish, blackish side. So now I'm moving on to the streaking part. This is kind of a signature for my art. So now I'm just quickly going over this, trying to make it as quick as possible. I'm having some hot pinks, some light pinks, some basic pinks, pink. The most difficult part of the hair streaking this time was definitely the black side of the hair, because I didn't know if I wanted to make the black side of the hair have rainbowy accents to it, or if I wanted it to just be more dark or light colors of itself, more grays or more blacks. So that was a difficult conundrum to figure out. I thought maybe I should add just a bunch of glitters, but that just looked crazy. So I tried the rainbows that I mentioned, but that just didn't seem to work very well or give off what I wanted it to give. So in the end, I decided to go for just darker or lighter versions of itself, just because sometimes a little bit of simplicity or minimalism is good. I'm definitely a maximist myself, but some characters that I draw might not be, so I have to sometimes let them just kind of be a little bit simple sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes. Once I was done with coloring in the black side of the hair, that was probably the hardest part done, so now I could just move on to the rest of the easy, and the next step I decided to take on was moving on to the checkered top that she's wearing. This part is pretty simple, and I just have to repeat what I did with the hat, so just to color this in like a chessboard, and then add the little rainbowiness to it. This isn't as hard as I made it sound at first, I swear. I just had to color things in with pink at first, just so that I can clip the rainbow layer to the pink, and then it won't be as messy and I won't have to erase around it. It's maybe a little bit tedious, this whole rainbowy thing, but I think the end result is worth it, so oh well. I'm working on the red, and now the orange. Let me know if you want me to draw just a rainbow of characters, like one character entirely red, one character entirely orange, one character entirely yellow, etc., you get it. Yeah. I'm almost done with coloring in these checkers, and I absolutely love the idea of black sparkly side of the chessboard and then a rainbowy side of it. I just think that's so cute. You might notice that in her earrings and her necklace, it's just squares and diamonds. That's because just squares are kind of like just pieces of a chessboard, and diamonds are just that diagonally. So I just was kind of upholding to that rigid edges theme and the chess theme, just half and half colors all around. Now, for more asymmetricalness, I'm having her sleeves be the complete opposite sides of her hair. So on her pink hair side, the sleeve's black, and on her black hair side, the sleeve's pink. I'm having a nice hot pink tank top underneath her top. I gave her some nice leggings and then a see-through skirt, just because I thought that would be really cute, and just like, it just adds a little bit more flair to her design, I suppose. So I wanted this to be rainbowy to match with the rainbow side of her checkers thing. So I'm going for all the primary colors, red, green, then blue, and then I'll do a little bit of gradients to turn it into a proper rainbow. This way you can really see that both sides of this chess theme that she has going on here, this chess checkers thing, you can see that all the details kind of mix together perfectly in this asymmetrical, beautiful creation. This beautifully chaotic creation. as you've probably picked up by now, this character has some major asymmetricalness. Like, nothing about her is just perfectly symmetrical. Everything is just chaotic, yet kind of organized, I guess. So one of her skates is has the same checkers theme that we're going for, and one is just a plain flat color. Just because, why not? It's fun. So, I'm coloring in the wheels of her roller skates now. I imagine she does not go anywhere without them and probably wears wheelies. And now I'm coloring in the little earrings. The earrings are going to be the black and the diamond will be the rainbow. So now we're going in with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And we're adding a little bit of sparkles to the earrings just because it adds a little bit more detail and I think it's fun. Okay, now we're coloring in the skin and just being nice and careful and trying not to color outside the lines. For this, this was pretty simple actually. Now we can work on the eyes since everything else is done. For the eyes, I decided to still go with that asymmetrical idea. So on the black side of her hair, there's a pink eye, and in the pink side of the hair, there's a black eye. Somehow pink and black eyes both sound very villainy and menacing, but yet somehow she just somehow manages to have those eye colors without seeming like someone who's secretly a villain or going to steal your toes or something. Once this is done, now I'm just going into rendering. I'm going over the line art and just making this pretty simple. You guessed it, on the black side we're gonna have pink lining, and on the pink side, what are we gonna have? We're going to have, wait, what color is that? Gray! I had to lean towards the screen to figure out what color that was. Oh well. So, as you can tell, very asymmetrical. Now to add a little bit of chaos, one boot is pink, and the other boot is also pink. One sleeve is pink, and the other sleeve is pink, just because I was getting tired. Yeah. So, once this is done, I can go on to the rendering. This is technically part of rendering, I guess. It's going over the lines to prepare for rendering. It's pre-render, I suppose. Now I'm going over her eyes and adding a tiny little gradient to it. Now I'm coloring in her mouth and her nose. And now we're finally ready to go to the rendering. Alrighty, so I added a dark purple on top, then just erased where I wanted things to be a little bit lighter. I decided to have one half of her have warm lighting and then another half be cold just because I really like how that looks. I'm probably not going to do this for every drawing, but I just think it looks kind of cool for this character in particular. Now I'm just experimenting with a few other options for lighting, and in the end I just added a little bit of saturation because once I add a layer that saturates, I can't see this being not gray without it. So here is our finished product. Thank you so much for watching this video through to the end, and please let me know if you have any ideas for what to name this cutie patootie. Yeah, I'll see you again. Bye!